Hello, everybody. Welcome back to James's Classic Movies. James with you here again today, getting ready for the holiday season. Throughout American history, one of the most forgotten war and perhaps tragically unremembered wars is the War for Our Independence, barely known as the Revolutionary War or the War for Independence, for which this country became a nation with its own Declaration of Independence and, of course, our amendments in our fight for freedom. Very few pictures have been made about this. And of course, we hear about the Civil War and World War II, Vietnam, Korea, and whatever, and what have you not. But we don't hear much on the Revolutionary War, one of the most important wars ever fought on American soil, leading up to the Civil War. And even during the Revolutionary War, the Civil War was discussed, secession and so forth. This was a very, very touchy issue back in the days of the Revolutionary War. Slavery and everything else was mentioned, and of course, any spark could set it off and pull us in a different direction, and this nation probably would have never come to pass. It would still be under British rule. There are so many different scenarios which could have played out back and then, but fortunately for us, it did not do that. Today we're talking about a miniseries that you see before you, the HBO original John Quincy Adams to be precise, who was the 6th President of the United States, among other things. A statesman, a lawyer, but not too much is known about John Adams, and nobody's really cares. I mean, we're more interested in what's going on today. But this HBO miniseries is a must for any historian, a must for anybody who's in the history and wants to know more about this great nation of ours. As I said, he was the 6th President of the United States, born July 11th in 1767 in Braintree, Massachusetts. Of course, he passed away February the 23rd in 1848, some 80 years. He was president from 1825 to 1829. Before that, he was serving as Secretary of State from 1817 to 1825. He's one of the founding members of the Continental Congress. He is, following that, he is instrumental in our Constitution and our most important Declaration of Independence. He's one of the founding fathers, if not the founding father of the Declaration. Fighting for our independence, Massachusetts was in deep trouble at the time as Continental Congress was being formed, and fighting hard to win over the other 12 states, or at that time were known as, how do you say it? As provincial governments, provinces. They weren't really states as of yet. The original colonies, as one might want to call them, colonies. John Quincy Adams was also a very, very influential attorney. If you'll recall, the first part of this movie, or a miniseries, that 5 British soldiers, including their captain, was charged with murder. Of course, he was the only lawyer in Boston, Massachusetts to represent them. And, of course, a verdict of not guilty was found for these men. And, well, we hope that you'll check this movie out. But right now, I want you to take a look at this. We'll be right back.
My father was a shoemaker. My mother could not read. We New England men are not fit for the times. have we seen of the world beyond Boston? What have we seen? I fear we know not what we do. I sometimes think we may be heading to a complete and irrevocable independence.
Those are guns, Mama.
I'm afraid they are.
Massachusetts is in a state of open rebellion.
It is no small thing to build a new world, gentlemen. A good diplomat, Mr. Adams, speaks softly.
I will not voluntarily put on the chains of France while I am struggling to throw off those of Great Britain.
To the revolution. War has been this administration's policy from the beginning.
Is it your purpose to destroy everything we've accomplished?
You're trampling on the Constitution. I am no man's puppet.
We are in the very midst of revolution.
This is a time for choosing sides. I am needed in the Congress.
You are needed here, John. If I were a man, I would be in the field of action.
The British are marching on Concord.
Come back to me, John.
Liberty will reign in America.
Barely known as the Minutemen or the Militiamen, was our Continental Army. Of course, the British were stupid enough to attack these guys in Concord, New Hampshire, and was immediately repelled. They ran them all the way back to Boston, Massachusetts. And, of course, this is right before the Continental Congress would meet and to arguably come across with the Declaration of Independence, trying to exhaust all its remedies for a peaceful negotiation with King George. Of course, King George was anything about being peaceful, sending his best general, General Gates over here, and well known for his brutality and butchery. The war began. Now later on, as I said, he became the official statesman for the government, and of course, at the time of the Declaration of Independence, again, like I said before, slavery was discussed, but it was put aside due to the fact that they were more interested in dissolving their relationship with Great Britain and getting the British out of Boston, because that was their immediate priority right before the Revolutionary War. And later things arise again, and of course Alexander Hamilton and John Adams face off here, and we want you to take a look at this and tell me what you think. We hope that you will pick up a copy of this and watch it. It is really, really good.
When the scourge of yellow fever is removed from Philadelphia and the government may resume its work, I will leave Trenton and return to the capital. I intend to deliver a response, Mr. Hamilton. Rest assured of that.
Should victory fall to Britain, as it most surely must, then the Bourbons are likely to regain the throne of France.
Any dealings with the current illegitimate government there could well redound to our detriment,
Leading us back into a war with Britain we can ill afford to wage.
What if the French, not the British, emerge victorious, Mr. Hamilton? The pretender Bonaparte is within a hair's breadth of victory over most of Europe.
In that regrettable instance, we must be prepared to take possession of valuable strategic territory before France can lay her hands on it. All the territory this side of the Mississippi must be ours.
You would seize Spanish Florida and Louisiana.
And not only those, sir. If universal empire is to be the pursuit of France, what can tend to defeat their purpose better than to detach South America from Spain? It is the only channel through which the riches of Mexico and Peru convey to France. Let us not forget there are those in our own country, sir, who would prefer secession to our continued union. if they should be so bold as to act on their threats. In the event, say, of a French victory, we must be prepared to bring the renegades back into the fold by force if necessary.
Never in my life have I heard a man speak more like a fool.
Sir?
Your actions, Mr. Hamilton, would precipitate the very thing that you pretend to protect against, the dissolution of this nation. May I inform you as well, sir, that I am in possession of intelligence which confirms that we are as likely to find a French army on these shores as we are on the moon. You dream of empire, Mr. Hamilton.
You question my loyalty, sir?
Oh, no, Mr. Hamilton, I question your sanity. Now, either you are stark raving mad, or I am. Good day, sir.
Hope you enjoyed that piece. It was pretty good. And, of course, this is a 7-part miniseries, which aired in 2008. It won 13 Primetime Emmys. It was nominated for 39, and total awards it won 52. That's pretty darn good for a miniseries, don't you think? Starring Paul Giamatti as John Adams, Lauren Linney as Abigail Adams, Stephen Delane as Thomas Jefferson. Now, you'll remember Mr. Delane from The Greatest Game Ever Played, filmed by Bill Paxton, featuring the start of Francis Ouimet, the golf player. And then David Morse, you'll remember him from Dreamer. He plays General Washington, one of my favorite actors. And Rufus Sewell, playing Alexander Hamilton, which you just seen in that clip. Again, if you're into history, or you're a history buff and you love the of history, I seriously encourage you to pick up a copy of this miniseries. You can get it from places like Amazon for like $20. It's a 7-parter plus the bonus selections as well. Myself, I'm into the Revolutionary War and stuff like that because I want to know how this country was founded and what held it together. Who's held it together for so long. Again, I want to thank you for watching. I want to wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Again, we will not be back till the first of the year. And, of course, I'm doing everything by memory today. That's why I'm stammering so much and trying to remember what to say. I know most of you are thinking, won't you write it down? Well, sometimes you just forget to do that. But anyway, as I just said, I wish you have a very, very Merry Christmas and a happy and prosperous New Year. And we'll see you next year. God bless.